Coming back home, there's been some inspirational workouts happening in the garden during the lockdown period. A PE woman in particular has completed an entire Ironman, but she didn't do it because she was bored. Nope, she did it to raise money for a resident with cerebral palsy who needed a new wheelchair. She joins us now via Skype to talk more about her fundraising campaign. Charlotte, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, I have to say, this is quite commendable. We'll get into exactly what the initiative of the fundraiser was for in just a moment, but I just want to understand exactly how did you do all of this in your backyard?
I can definitely say with certainty that it wasn't through my own strength. I had a lot of support and a lot of encouragement from friends and family, and also through faith and relying on the support that was available, which was mainly my husband and my two boys.
But the numbers are just incredible, Charlotte. I mean, you had a 42-kilometer run, and I may be getting some of the distances incorrect, but you then had a 3.8-kilometer swim, right? And a 180-kilometer cycle.
Yes, so the Ironman race is a major event in Port Elizabeth, and I think I fell in love with the sport a couple of years, more than 11 years ago, when my husband started competing in the race. And it's been a lifetime dream. So I've always wanted to or tried to, but I think the timing for it was right. So once I've entered the race, I started training, and I think it was combined with the effort of training, but also then at some point when I started using that as a platform to raise funds for a friend, it became much more meaningful for me.
Yeah. And Charlotte, tell us more about, this particular friend that needed this help, and you were just there to fill in the gap. Tell us more about this story.
Well, my friend's name is Philip Jansen from Rensburg, and he's in a house just around the corner from us, Cheshire Homes, that takes care of him. He's not able to use his hands or feet, so he passes our house with his wheelchair, and he uses his chin to manage and operate his wheelchair. So we've always been inspired by the way he's not using or allowing his limitations to be locked in. And we became friends, and at some point I did have a conversation with him where I realized his wheelchair is giving him problems. And that's where the idea of raising funds started. And I used a platform called Back a Buddy, where I was able to raise some funds.
How much did you raise, Charlotte? I mean, I think you're being a bit modest about, the initiative that you have taken. I mean, the story of Philip that you are giving us, someone who's got cerebral palsy and is on a wheelchair and uses his chin to operate that. And your worry was that the batteries, the special batteries for that wheelchair were malfunctioning, and that was what got you started. How much did you manage to raise and transfer over to Cheshire House?
Well, I think I should focus on the word I, because it was nothing that I'd done. I think it started with recognizing someone's need and trying to figure out how I'm able to make a difference. And then I had to rely on my connections. So I think if people want to make a difference, they need to rely on their connections to be effective, and to also just focus. I was inspired by someone to focus on the person in front of you. So I think once you start focusing on the needs with the people that crosses your road or passes your house, or even the people living in your house, then it becomes something much more meaningful, and then it does have a ripple effect, and that's the only way I feel that we can make a difference to our communities.
All right.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. And I think this is also an inspiration.
Yes, please do. Yes.
We've raised currently, and that's why I said not I, but we and everyone that had made a contribution raised more than 100,000 rand.
Fantastic work. Thank you so much, Charlotte Robbenheimer. That's the